Is government through the state and through the federal governments, are they providing incentives to help make this happen in any way, financial incentives for private companies to implement TDM strategies?
They are, and a case in point comes up is Caltrain, for example, provides shuttle grants out there and helps basically seed money and to come with to the table, basically help facilitate the people together and put a little bit of seed money, maybe $25,000 out of $130,000 to get it going. Now they don't want to continue that on more than maybe 1 or 2 years as a pilot program, but it's a wonderful opportunity for the cities or for Caltrain or BART to come in. And just thinking about BART right now, one of my past employees is working for BART and going in there and using some marketing money. They are under the understanding that they can actually provide and get more people on BART, for example, instead of maybe building a shuttle service themselves, but by going out there and helping the local employers along the BART corridor and spending X amount of money to help market the existing TDM programs into place to get more people to utilize their ridership. There's also transportation funds for clean air grants, for example, through the Air District, that's still around too. So there are, yes, federal, state, local funding sources, even from for example, this college here in San Jose State, that's where we started our program many years ago, 15 years ago, and they helped with allowing a private company like Altrans to go out there and find grant funding and being a sponsor of the grant. And that was a wonderful opportunity to actually start a business and start a program, a TDM program, through a governmental institution. Win-win situation.
So in which ways then are the counties, the cities, the MTCs in this region actually including TDM in their planning process? I mean, it looks like they're providing some funding and they're looking at it, but are they actually really including it in their planning process?
I don't know about the dollars and cents about including that portion of the planning process. I do know, for example, working with Oakland Medical Center, Kaiser up in Oakland, the city there is requiring certain TDM programs and implementation of such in a plan and an annual survey that we provide to them. Until they receive that and we're able to implement that successfully, they cannot really get that building permit. So as far as the planning process, the mechanics of it are out there right now currently, and more cities are coming online to require that developer or that landowner to start working on TDM programs from the very beginning. As far as the dollar amounts, in this case, they're not providing any dollars to make that happen. They're just saying you've got to do it. If you want to build,
not the carrot.
Exactly, and they need to.
And when we're taking a look, and we've talked primarily about the Bay Area and the Silicon Valley, how would a TDM project differ maybe in a rural community versus a metropolitan community like the Greater Bay Area? Are there different strategies that you'd use?
I would assume that there would be different strategies. I've never worked in the rural environment. There's so much work and a need here in the Bay Area. We tend just to focus in the Bay Area. But I could see that the density levels would be quite different. They might need more of a dial-a-ride programs, far areas outside the business core area to get people in. So it'd probably be similar, but then there'd be different strategies too, because it just wouldn't be as a dense of a location and coverage as far as transit, et cetera.
If somebody was interested in having their company start a program, how would they get started doing this?
There's a lot of different groups out there. They can call 511 or 511 or go to 511.org, for example, find out the different resources. There's always meetings out there. There's transportation management associations. They can Google that. There's another really good research from University of Southern Florida, and they have a TDM program, a real good TDM clearinghouse, basically. And there's a really good strategies of how to start and how to answer questions on TDM. So I would basically go to 511, go to MTC, go to Caltrans. They can always call Altrans too, and kind of put a phone number out there, or is that all right? 408 Altrans. It's 258-7267, and we can help them get started. And it just depends on where they are. There's wonderful entities and opportunities to work together with a lot of different groups out there. There's a lot of good support out there. So I guess in all, they shouldn't feel alone. They shouldn't feel nervous or scared. They just need to ask probably that first question and go from there, and you'll start opening those doors up there.
Well, I think that leads us very nicely into our last question, which is, what is Altrans doing to to internally to implement TDM practices, and what are you doing to help other companies? How can you help other companies implement TDM?
What we generally do is we'll work with a company. A company will call us, and depending on the company size, we'll never take anything for granted, because it's not a cookie cutter formula or solution out there, because some things will work for some companies and some won't at all. And it's so important to do more cost-effective measures out there than anything. So we generally go in and we'll do a large survey with the employers, and we'll look what the employees' feedback are coming back from and where they live. We'll geocode or GIS, geographical information systems, and put them on a computer site and see where they live in relation to the existing transit routes, for example. And we'll see what the employees are using right now to get to work, what they want or what they believe will work, and then we'll look at them and interview the employers themselves and see what they're willing to provide. And somewhere in between is probably a good match, depending on the budget too, to go out there and start implementing it. So the individual companies could hire us or to any other firm out there to do things like shuttle programs, transit encouragement, bicycle programs, EcoPass programs, TDM programs, and then also development of their plans that they want to build, rebuild projects, etc.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much,
Thanks,
Stephen,
Dave.
for spending
Thanks
our
for
time
having me
today.
on.
And
I appreciate that. Okay.
thank you for being here. See you next time.